Good day, my name is Anjoy Ruda. I'm the group leader of Group 5 and we'll be taking the topic developing business message, which is the writing process. Thank you.
Good day everyone. My name is Olamide Orubu and I'll be presenting writing process. The writing process involves gathering information, transforming ideas, organizing ideas and revising what you have written. Under the writing process, we have planning stage, writing stage and complete stage. Under planning stage, you have to analyze the situation first, gather the information and select the right medium. Under analyzing the situation, it is the most important part of the 3 writing step process. In this step, you define the reason and the purpose for the writing, and you also develop an audience profile. Without understanding your writing objective, you may not fully grab what the audience is saying. And you have to write for and end up crafting a message that fails to be noticed or does not get the response. Thank you.
My name is Olakunle Olayinka. I'm speaking on gathering information. In this step, we determine the needs of the audience, what the audience needs to know, and we gather information required to satisfy the needs of the audience. This step also helps you to focus your attention more on the important part of the messages, like considering the audience perspective, listening to the community, read reports and community and company documents. Thank you.
I am Autila Ayomde, and I'll be talking on the next step in planning stage. Now, the next step in planning stage is selecting the right medium. This is the form at which the person making the message or making the communication uses to interact with the audience. Now, the audience has various forms at which they receive the information, and this is one of the things the writer or the communicator must put into consideration. Some audience receive their information through emails, some through newspapers. So these are the things the communicator must put into consideration before selecting a medium, before selecting the channel of distributing the communication. You can use vehicle or different ways to dispatch your information to the audience. So next, I'm talking about organizing the information. Now, organized information has to do with sorting and classifying, and sorting on its own has to do with proximity, that is selecting the information. How related are they with the audience? You have to select your information and you have to choose the type of information you want to give to your audience if they are related. So, and also it has to do with simplicity. Whatever you are sending to your audience must not be too far from what they want. It has to be simple in a way that it will be very easy to be understood. So the next stage after the planning stage is the writing stage. The writing communication means the sending of messages, orders or instruction in writing through letters, circulars. So writing has to do with, there are various ways you write. One, we write through pen on paper, and with the aid of technology, writing through laptops and then typing messages is now in vogue now. So these are the various stages. In this stage, we concern ourselves with writing, but not the full editing process yet. We'll discuss the editing, the third step of the writing process. Now, writing process doesn't really have to do with editing. Now, this is the stage before you start editing. Writing has to do with gathering the information and putting it into writing. Now, the first stage is adapt to the audience. There's something called the you attitude. For you to be able to adapt to your audience, you have to know them. Whatever you are typing, whatever message you are sending is not about you, but about the audience. So you have to know your audience, do full investigation, their age, their gender, what they love to do, whatever they are biasing, their culture and their custom.
My name is Famu Shigrak, and I'll be speaking on how to compose the message and the complete stage. The last step in the writing stage is to choose strong words that create useful sentences and coherent paragraphs. When composing your message, select words to impact the message and the reader. It is acceptable to use jargon while writing to technical audience based on because they will better understand your message than a general audience. So I'll be speaking on complete stage. As you can see here, the final stage of the writing process is the complete step. Some instructors using the same 3x3 writing process may refer to this part as the editing stage, either term is correct. Next slide. So in these last steps, there are 4 sub-steps that relate to making certain what you write is efficient, effective, and presentable to your audience. These last 3 steps are as follows. Number 1, we have revising the message. Number 2, we have producing the message. Number 3, we have proofreading. And number 4, we have distributing the message.
Good day, my name is Shupiton Oluwabusola, and I'll be discussing the steps under the complete stage or the completing stage. So the first step under the completing stage is revise the message. So you have to evaluate the content and review its readability. You have to ensure that it is clear and concise by editing and rewriting it if it's necessary. And there are some particular questions that as a writer or as a sender of a message you need to ask yourself before sending out the message or to evaluate the content of your message. Number 1, the first question is the information you provide accurate? That is the information you are providing, are they accurate? Number 2, is there enough information to satisfy the audience needs? That is the information that are provided, is it enough to satisfy the audience needs? Number 3, is there a good balance of information that includes background information and details? That is the information well balanced? Number 4, have you covered all discussion points logically? That means have all the points been covered logically? Number 5, if the message were arranged differently, would it be more persuasive? That is there a better way or a better form to arrange the message, or is it arranged in the best form so far? No, why the final one, which is the 6th one, is are any discussion points unnecessarily repeated? That is to check the message if there are points that are repeated and are not necessary. The second one is produce the message. So when preparing your message, you must format it based on the communication channel your audience will use to receive it. That is, you have to make sure that the message is the mode of the message must be in a stable way to the channel what you're using to send the message. Okay, so thus elements like useful design elements for a clean and professional layout make your materials easy to read, as well as to convey a sense of professionalism and significance. You have to ensure that you are using different formats to make your different layouts, different designs to make your information more to look better, to look nice. For example, we have like the PowerPoint that we're using to present at the moment. Well, my final point, so therefore you will need to consider what format you are using, if it is digital or analog, and any visual font and white space before you know the channel, before you know like the way you serve it, the type of message you'll be sending. Thank you very much.
My name is Oshodi Maria, and I'll be talking on the last 2 sub-stage of completion stage, which is proofread the message, review the communication to note for any errors, check the spellings and mechanics in the layout. And these are some quick tips in proofreading your written communication. Number 1, check your document for spelling error by reading it backwards. Number 2, read your message several times, focusing on different spots in each case. Number 3, double check important facts and figures for accuracy and typographical error. Number 4, be patient and take your time. Rushing while editing will only make matters worse. Then the last one is distribution of message. Now that the message has been written, produced, and proofread, then it is ready for distribution after all the necessary changes. Make sure that all files and documents that with your message are both conveyed. Then here are some quick tips when to consider when considering the delivery. The cost of delivery. This applies mainly to the printed and larger messages most of the time. Number 2, convenience for delivery of the message. How involved is it to prepare then and deliver the message? An email, for example, will take a lot less time than a printed message. Number 3, timing. How often do you need to deliver your message? The timing for the message must be very accurate. Is it urgent or can it wait to be delivered to the audience?
My name is Ali Joy, and I'll be talking about the key concepts in the writing process. So the first stage of the key process, we have the pre-writing. And this stage, you have to first start planning and how you prepare your writing. Also, this stage, you have to prepare your research on the topic or other relevant thing. And when you are given a instruction to do a broad instruction by your instructor, you are expected you're expected to narrow it down to and focus on the smaller area. And in this process of writing, if you want to write effectively, and in order to write effectively, you have to prepare it to where you want it to go, the research you want it to be. Then the second stage, we have drafting. In this, you have to first, once you have created an outline, you need to start, it's time to start writing. So as you're writing, you need to ask yourself some questions like, do I need more research? Is the point where I'm told to put in this area, the message I'm giving to my audience, is it little or much? Do I need to cover to my business co-workers or my boss?
My name is Olanrewaju Elijah, and I'll be talking on revising, editing, and proofreading. What is revising, editing, and proofreading? This is a stage in the writing process where you make sure your text is coherent and is written accurately. So obviously, this is a stage whereby you check your text, you make sure everything is aligned before anything. Your final product should be a text that has been thoroughly worked through and meets the academic standard of writing. You make sure you create enough time to revise, edit, and proofread your assignments before submission. Thank you.
So another basic task in writing is planning. So we need to make our planning, and so that we can get our goal to get anything down on paper on our computer screen. One is clustering. We need to get our ideas down. We need to gather our informations. We need to get them down. So that then the next one is brainstorming, looking for ideas, getting ideas from different places. If it determines that we should come together or as a group or look for different places where we can get information based on what you are writing on, then outlining them, then we are going to list them down on what exactly it is that we're talking about, what exactly I'm writing. You need to list them down, the important information that you need. So another one is revision. So we need to revise. We need to take a quick glance on exactly what you have written, so that we know that yes, you have given the best job, you have done a very good writing. Thank you very much.
My name is Andrea Roda. In conclusion, I'll be talking about basic tasks in writing process. We have research. Research is crucial because it enables you to obtain the right information for your audience. Firstly, we need to interview people. Then collaborate with people that have the knowledge of this writing process. Then we need to have internet searching, read current, periodic, and journal reports. Then we need to visit a work site. What is planning? At the planning stage in the writing process, your goal is to get anything down on paper on your computer screen. Firstly, we need to cluster all the things we've gotten, then brainstorm on what to write down, then we need to outline everything that we've done. So now I'll be talking about editing. Editing is done only after you've completely satisfied that you have made all the big decisions about content. Editing is making sure the sentences are complete, correct spelling, and has the correct punctuation. Next slide. At this stage, you need to pay close attention at sentence, word choices, punctuation, spelling, grammar, and usage and tone. Then complexity. The sentences are too complex, making it hard to understand what the writer means. In an instance where a reader has to read over 2 times before he or she can understand what the writer wrote, is not a good writing process. So the next one, we need to combine short bit sentences. You don't need to shorten long sentence. Just need to make sure they are not complex sentences.